rev hang on this car sucks. I've got to say, like, this isn't just a rant, but this is like everything you need to know about the Subaru WRX REV hang. Why, why is it happening? What is it if you don't know what it is? What are ways to get rid of it? And just a general, all right, there's going to be some ranting about the stupid rev hang in this car. It's my least favorite thing about this car, the rev hang between first and second gear. It is a pain in the butt. It is shocking that this car came out of the factory with that rev hang. I mean, I get that this car is designed to drive fast all the time, but come on, Subaru, what were you thinking letting the car come out of the factory with that rev hang? And it's so repeatable. I'm also going to be showing you an example of the rev hang. I'm just going to insert it from later tonight because I think it's going to be easier to see the dash when it's dark out and lit up at night. So we're going to be filming that tonight. I mean, you're going to be seeing it now, so it's just going to be dark. So if it gets dark when I show that, just know that that's what we're doing. And if you want to see more WRX content or Subaru content or any type of automotive content, I've got huge plans. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It should be a fun journey. I'm going to mod the crap out of this car. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, definitely follow the channel. Hands down, my least favorite thing, and I've already said this, hands down, my least favorite thing about this car is the stupid rev hang. I live in an apartment complex with speed bumps that are in pretty short intervals, and I can't get out of first, and then, first gear sucks in this car already. And then on top of that, I live in a city, so I'm always constantly shifting between first and second, and always I'm like, oh God, rev hang, oh God, rev hang, if I'm not aware. Like, you gotta think to yourself, oh, I need to get out of first. Like, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, let's get out of first now. And I'll get out really early and get into second, and sometimes I don't, and then I'm like, oh damn it, I should have been out of first and into second. Like, I just, and I mean, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, he's a noob, he's an amateur. It's been a while since I've driven a manual. I mean, it's been a long time. So we're talking like 5 years since I had really driven a manual. So I mean, yeah, like eventually I'll become more aware of it, but I mean, it's also something that's a pain and it sucks, and let me tell you about it. So what is rev hang? And let's insert a clip here. Rev hang is when you are going from first to second, and let's say you allow the car to rev up to 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. Rev hang is when you are shifting to second. You put the car in neutral, you shift to second, and the revs hang, they literally hang, they don't decrease fast enough to get into second, so that when you engage second gear, your revolutions per minute are higher than what they should be, and you get this bucking sensation because the car is bucking forward. Well, the sensation is bucking, but you're actually just kind of, bursting your acceleration because you're at a higher, RPM. So what ends up happening is if you're not shifting out of first at 2 or 3K RPM, you're dealing with rev hang issues. Like, typically it's more fun to shift out of first at like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, especially if you're driving a little bit more spiritedly, but then you have to be aware that you're shifting from 5,000 RPM and you're getting into second at 4,000 RPM, which is going to cause you to go like that. Sometimes it's just a little bit, sometimes it's a lot, and if you're driving really slow and you don't care about how you're driving, you don't get it at all because you shift out of first really fast. And again, you can still have fun with the car and getting into second, going from second and doing a pull like that. I just don't have the space to do that ever, so yeah, rev hang sucks. So that's what rev hang is, and again, this is like kind of a rant too because it sucks, and so I had to say it. And there are definitely ways to get rid of the rev hang, and I think one of the easy ways people get rid of it is doing an off-the-shelf stage 1 tune. And obviously you can do a pro tune and do anything like that where you can change the way the engine characteristics are running and you can adjust that rev hang. But I know that the Cobb off-the-shelf, that's OTS off-the-shelf stage 1 tune definitely addresses the rev hang, and I've heard a lot of people say it's either non-existent or it pretty much goes away, and that once you do a pro tune, you can get that fully adjusted and you don't have to deal with it anymore, and the power band becomes a little bit more linear. Sorry, there was a huge pothole in the road. So the power band will get a little bit more linear and you won't have to deal with that. So that's kind of how you get rid of it. I guess the other way to avoid it is just to shift out of first at like 2,000 to 3,000 RPM, which actually isn't great for the engine. It's not necessarily bad for the engine, but with a turbocharged, especially direct injection vehicle, you really want to be getting a little bit of boost every time you shift, and that's probably at 3,000 RPM, between 3 4,000 RPM. That's a good time to shift. And actually pushing the car isn't a bad thing. So if you want to push the car every once in a while, you'll actually clean up a lot of the gunked up. Ooh, that was a pothole too. You'll clean up a lot of the gunked up carbon and deposits in the car. So a little bit of a side note there. The fact that Subaru okayed the rev hang, or didn't catch it, or was aware that it was like this out of the factory, really shocks me and almost disappoints me. I think that it's a huge issue, and I get that Subaru is selling a sports car and most people aren't driving it for smoothness or anything like that. I think when you're driving a CVT WRX, which is what I owned for a while, that the tune is, the way that ECU is tuned on the car is a lot more forgiving, and you don't notice all these quirks. When you're driving the manual, you have a lot more control over the transmission and the way the engine is working. All these like problems come out. I mean, I think the ECU is poorly tuned. It's not very linear. You definitely have to get used to it. You've got this rev hang. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you guys to all tune your cars, but I mean, I'm going to test it out in the near future, getting that stage 1 off the shelf. Obviously, this car is going to make some huge power, and I'm going to build it and get it pro tuned, but I'm going to do this stage 1 tune to see if it solves this problem. So if you are dying to solve it, check into the channel in the near future, probably in the next couple weeks, and I will hopefully have a solution for you. But in this video, I just wanted to demonstrate what that rev hang is, talk a little bit about how you can solve it, and yeah, just genuinely rant about it, because I know a lot of you guys are frustrated with it as well, and sometimes it can be therapeutic just to hear somebody, or rant about it yourself. With that being said, drop it in the comment section below if you hate the rev hang between the car. And if you have any questions about what rev hang is, if you didn't think that I explained it well enough, or you have further questions, definitely drop it in the comment section below. I try to answer every comment on my videos unless the video blows up and I can't maintain the comments, and I still go back through and try to respond to all the comments, but I will definitely try to give you the most in-depth response that I can with the time that I have. Well guys, thank you for watching the video, especially if you stuck through it this far. I really do appreciate you guys that stick through it this far. If you stuck through it this far, just drop it in the comment section below and say that you stuck through this far, so I know who you are. So the next time I do a giveaway, maybe you will get 2 entries or something like that, because you guys that stick this far through are my